ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So very good morning all of you. So we are discussing thermal properties of matter. In that now we are going to discuss about heat transfer. Heat transfer. How the heat is transferred, in how many ways? So that is transfer of heat energy from one place to another place. How the heat energy is transferred. So we have three processes for this heat process. First one is conduction, second one is convection, third one is radiation. Conduction, convection and radiation. So the process of transfer of heat energy from one place to another place, process of transfer of heat energy from one place to another place is exist in three ways. So those are conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction, convection and radiation. These are the three processes of transfer of heat energy. So in these situations, conduction and convection needs medium. So conduction and convection needs medium for the propagation of heat energy from one place to another place, but radiation does not requires any medium. Radiation does not requires any medium. Does not requires any medium. So what is the medium and what is the here it does not require any medium, but it requires medium. What is the medium? What is the medium? So that is important. For example, best example is, for example, if the two persons are placed side by side, one for example, so number of persons are sitting like this, like this. So here are the persons, like this. So here one that means this person knows one matter. This person knows one matter. That matter is transferred from first person to last person. How the matter is transferred from first person to last person? So here this person knows one matter, that is, for example, this person knows one very important secret. How that secret is transferred from one place to another place? For example, generally in hostel campuses, study hours are going on like this. Students are sitting like this, back to back like this in a row. For example, if the first person knows one secret, whatever it is, so how the secret transferred from one place to another place? For example, this person transferred secret to this person, next this person transferred to this one transferred to this one, this person transferred to this one. So person transferred, this person transferred the secret to adjacent one, next adjacent, next like that. So that means here how that matter transferred from one place to another place? With the help of the persons or with the help of the students. So what is the medium here? The students are the medium. Without the help of the students, matter does not transfer. So that is, so here what is the medium? Students are the medium. So that's why conduction must require medium, convection also require medium. So convection, how the convection requires medium? That means generally air is flowing from one place to another. We can experience hot air or cold air like that. We can experience hot air in summer, cool air in case of winter. So what is the difference between hot air and cool air? Hot air means heat energy transferred from one place to another place with the help of air. Air is the medium here. Cool air. So that means here also cool, that means temperature difference. Here also energy, heat energy transferred from one place to another place with the help of the air. So air is the medium in this situation. But radiation does not require any medium. Radiation in the sense heat energy from the sun directly reaches to the earth. So there is no requirement of the medium for that. So that is conduction, convection and radiation. So now first we can discuss about clearly one by one. First we can discuss about conduction process. So conduction process means in case of thermal expansion of solids, while discussing the thermal expansion of the solids, we already discussed about, so let us say this is the solid, each and every particle of the solid executes simple harmonic motion. Each and every particle must execute simple harmonic motion. So let us say I am considering these two particles, adjacent particles. This one executes simple harmonic motion. This one also executes simple harmonic motion. Simple harmonic motion, to and fro motion. This is the original. To and fro. It is also to and fro like that. Execute simple harmonic motion. Initially, there is no collision between these two molecules. Now, if we supply heat energy at one end, so that means first this molecule gets certain amount of heat energy, gains certain amount of heat energy. Due to the amount of heat energy, so that means these molecules gain certain amount of energy. Due to the amount of energy, the amplitude of oscillation increases. So actually it vibrating like this, due to increase in energy, it vibrates with more amplitude. Due to this more amplitude, this molecule collides with the adjacent one. Due to this more amplitude, first molecule collides with the second one. During this collision process, some of the heat energy transferred from first molecule to second molecule. During that collision process, some of the heat energy transferred from first molecule to second molecule. So that means second molecule also gains certain amount of energy. So due to this, it is also vibrating with more amplitude. That amplitude of oscillation also increases. Amplitude of oscillation of the second molecule also increases. So that again this one collides with next one. Due to that, what happens? Third molecule also gains certain amount of heat energy. Again that one vibrates with more amplitude. Then that one collides with fourth one, like that. So first one collides with second collides with third collides with fourth collides with fifth. During this collision process, heat energy transferred from one end of the substance to another end of the substance. During this collision process, heat energy transferred from first end of the substance to the second end of the substance. So during this process, molecules does not move from one place to another place. This molecule stays at this position. This molecule also stays at this position. This molecule also stays at this position. That means molecules does not moving from one place to another place. But how the heat energy transferred? Due to collision process. First molecule collides with second one, second molecule collides with third one, third molecule collides with fourth one, fourth molecule collides with fifth one, like that. During the collision process, heat energy transferred, but molecules does not moving from one place to another place. Molecules does not moving from one place to another place. Very, very important thing here. In case of conduction, there is no actual movement of the particles. but heat energy transferred. How the heat energy transferred? Due to the collision of the molecules. So that is the collision process, sorry, that is the conduction. So this here heat energy transferred due to, here the heat energy transferred due to collision between the molecules. Collision between the molecules. So here molecules does not move from one place to, does not move from one place to another place. Molecules does not move from one place to another place. Next, heat energy transferred due to collision between the molecules. Molecules does not move from one place to another place. That means actual movement of the particles does not exist. So now, so for this conduction process, medium is compulsory. Medium is compulsory for the transfer of heat energy. For the transfer of heat energy. So these are the key points here. Heat energy transferred from one place to another place. How the heat energy transferred? Due to the collision between the molecules. But the molecules does not move from one place to another place. So medium is compulsory. What is the medium here? Particles are the medium. For the transfer of heat energy from one end to other end, what is acts as the medium here? Molecules acts as the medium. So this is conduction. This is the way heat energy transferred here. Then how can you, here we have two conditions again we have to discuss. So those are variable state and steady state. See here. So this is the certain amount of rod of length L. Now here the concept is the heat energy transferred along the length only. The concept is you have to clear about that. The heat energy transferred along the length. Heat energy does not transfer from this end to this end. Does not transfer from this end to this end. Heat energy transferred only along the length of the rod, because these is all are insulated above and below the rod. Insulated. Insulated means heat energy does not transfer. The heat energy transferred along the length. So here at this end let us say temperature is T1, at this end the temperature is T2. At this end the temperature is T1, at this end the temperature is T2. So that means heat energy transferred from this end to this end. Temperature is transferred from this end to this end only, not perpendicular to the length. Heat energy transferred along the length, not perpendicular to length. That is important here. First here. So heat energy transferred, that means here we are supplying heat energy. Here T1 is greater than T2, let us say. Here we are supplying heat energy, that means this end we are heating, supplying heat energy. So the total amount of heat energy is equals to, let us say, Q1 plus Q2. Q1 plus Q2. What is Q1 and what is Q2? So here Q1 is the amount of heat energy absorbed by the body, and Q2 is the amount of heat energy transferred. So we are supplying certain amount of heat energy. That heat energy is equal to Q1 plus Q2. What is Q1? During the heating process, certain amount of heat energy absorbed by the body. Certain amount of heat energy is absorbed by the body. Next, certain amount of heat energy is transferred. whatever is the heat energy supplied, the total heat energy does not transferred. Certain amount of heat energy is absorbed by the body. Remaining amount of heat energy only transferred. So that's why Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2. Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2. So that is the actual process. What is Q? Q is total heat supplied. Total heat supplied to the body. Total heat supplied to the body. Q is that is equals to Q1 plus Q2. So Q1 in the sense amount of heat energy absorbed. Q2 is the what is it? Amount of heat energy transferred. Best example, government release certain amount of funds to the people. Total amount of funds does not transfer to the people. Certain amount of money absorbed. Certain amount of money absorbed. So remaining amount of money only reaches to the people. So that is here Q is the total amount of money released by the government. Q1 certain amount of money absorbed by the certain X, whatever it is, and Q2 is the amount of money received by the people. That best example. So that is Q is total heat supplied, Q1 is that body absorbs certain amount of heat energy, and Q2 is amount of heat energy transferred. So this is the actual process in this. And one more thing here we have to discuss is first it is variable state. Variable state and another one is steady state. So what is meant by variable state and what is meant by steady state? What is meant by variable state and what is meant by steady state? Variable state means the temperature difference continuously changes from first end of the rod to second end of the rod. Temperature difference continuously changes with respect to time. So here variable state means the temperature difference continuously changes with respect to time from one end to other end of the rod. So that is variable state. The temperature difference continuously changes with respect to time from one end to other end of the rod. So this state is, that means here it is T1, let us say it is 100 degrees Celsius. So here this position is, let us say 90, so let us say 85, so let us say 82, let us say 80, like that. Continuously changes with respect to time. Temperature difference continuously changes with respect to time from one end of the rod to other end of the rod. So that is called variable state. In this variable state, total heat energy does not transfer. Total heat energy does not transfer from one end to other end. So that means certain amount of heat energy absorbed by the substance. So only certain part of heat energy transferred from one place to another place. That is called variable state. Next, steady state in the sense the temperature difference is constant with respect to time. Variable state means, steady state in the sense the temperature difference is constant with respect to time. Temperature difference is constant with respect to time. That is called steady state. That is called steady state. So next, here whatever is the heat supplied, whatever is the heat supplied to the body, total heat is transferred. Whatever is the heat we supply to the body, the total amount of heat energy is transferred from one place to another place without absorption. That is called steady state. But in case of variable state, certain amount of heat energy is absorbed. Only some part of the heat energy is transferred. But in case of steady state, whatever is the heat energy we supply, the total heat energy transferred from one place to another place without any absorption. That is called variable state and steady state. So these are the two states we have to discuss. Already these are the two states you have to remember: variable state and steady state. So next, come to the topic temperature gradient. So for example, so it is T1 and it is T2. Let us say L. Length of the rod is L. Temperature gradient is defined as, so it is, the definition is the change in temperature per unit length. The change in temperature per unit length is called temperature gradient. So that is equals to delta T by X. So for example, for the distance X, let us say here the temperature is T naught. At a distance of X, the temperature is T naught. Then it is T1 minus T naught by X. So what is the temperature gradient for the distance X? So T1 minus T naught by X. What is the temperature gradient for this total? So for total length, L, the temperature gradient is T1 minus T2 by L. So simply the temperature gradient is defined as the change in temperature per unit length or the fall in temperature per unit length. Change in temperature or fall in temperature per unit length. Fall in temperature. So that means here it is the heavier temperature, high temperature. While moving towards other end, the temperature gradually decreases. So the fall in temperature per unit length is called temperature gradient. How much amount of temperature decreases per unit length? So the unit is temperature difference, that is Kelvin, distance meter. So that is Kelvin per meter. So that is the unit of temperature gradient. So the dimensional formula, K dimensional formula, K only, it is L, that is K L power minus 1. Dimension formula is K by L or K L power minus 1. That is the dimensional formula of the temperature gradient. So this is about temperature gradient. So the fall in temperature per unit length. So while let us say this is the uniform rod, at this end the temperature is 100, let us say, at this end the temperature is 50. This is 10, this is 100 and this is 50. The length of the rod is 2 meters, let us say. The length of the rod is 2 meters. So here it is T1 is 100 and T2 is 50. Let us say this length is 2 meters. What is the temperature gradient here? The temperature gradient for this is fall in temperature 100 minus 50 divided by total length 2. So 50 by 2. So that is 25 Kelvin per meter. So the temperature gradient is equals to 25 Kelvin per meter. That means the temperature decreases by 25 Kelvin per meter. Temperature decreases by 25 Kelvin per meter. Per 1 meter, how much temperature decreases? 25 Kelvin. So that is the meaning of this temperature gradient. For 1 meter of the length, how much temperature is fall or how much temperature decreases? So that is temperature gradient. Next, come to the point, conduction. How can you define conduction? Definition of conduction is, this is the process of transfer of heat energy. Conduction is the process of transfer of heat energy from one place to another place. This is the process of transfer of heat energy from one place to another place without the actual motion of the particles. Without the actual motion of the particles. This is called conduction. The process of transfer of heat energy from one place to another place without the actual motion of the particles, we discussed already. So that means particles are not moving from one place to another place. Particles are not moving from one place to another place. So just the particles are executing simple harmonic motion only, but the position of the particles does not changes. That is the heat energy. Best that is called conduction. Best example of this conduction is, so blindly remember that. So in hostel campus, study hour. So all the persons sit, so line wise, the best example. Remember, best example you have to remember this. All the persons sitting in the line in the study hour, the first person knows one matter, how that matter transfer to the last person. How that matter transfer to the last person. Just by exchanging the words. Just by exchanging the words. That means first person does not moving from that place. First person does not moving from that place. But the matter transfers. That is the conduction process. Particles does not move. That means students does not moving from their original place. They are at their positions only. The students must be in their original positions only. They are not moving, but the matter transfers. But the matter transfers from one place to another place. That is the conduction process. Particles does not move, but heat energy transferred. How the heat energy transferred? Due to the collision between the molecules. We discussed earlier already it is. So here, next to the important points is conduction process requires medium. Conduction process requires medium. Without medium, conduction process does not exist. So here next to conduction process exists. Conduction process exists only in solids. Conduction process exists only in solid. Conduction process does not exist in solid liquids and does not exist in gases. Because in liquids and gases there is a huge difference between the particles. But in case of conduction, so that means in case of solids, all the particles are arranged in regular manner. All the particles are arranged in regular manner. The distance between any two particles must be same in case of a given solid, but in case of liquid does not constant, that varies continuously. That's why of course there may be a conduction process exist, but that is not considerable manner. That is not considerable manner. So the conduction process generally we can consider the conduction process exists only in solids. Of course liquids and gases this process exists, but it is not the considerable manner, very less proportion. So that's why we are not considering in liquids and gases. So that is conduction process exists only in solids. So this is called conduction. Now we have to derive the formula for this conduction. So that is thermal conductivity. Next concept is it is thermal conductivity. What is meant by thermal conductivity? What it means? Thermal conductivity. So that is process of transfer of heat energy from one end to other end without the actual motion of the particles. Same that only, conduction process only. So let us say it is T1 and it is T2. Here our assume is T1 is greater than T2. T1 is greater than T2. So that is the first condition. So let us say L is the length of the rod. Here the concept is heat energy transferred along the length only. Heat energy transferred along the length only. So that is the major topic, major consideration it is. Heat energy must transferred along the length only. That is the concept. So here, so that means here T1 is greater than T2. That means heat energy transferred from first end of the rod to the second end of the rod. T1 is greater than T2 here. Then heat energy transferred from this end to this end. Heat energy transferred from this end to this end. First end of the rod to the second end of the rod. How the heat energy transferred? That heat energy depends on what factors? That is here we are going to discuss about. Here amount of heat energy transferred So let us say it is considered as Q. Q is the amount of heat energy or dq, whatever it is. Amount of heat energy transferred is directly proportional to, first of all, temperature difference between the ends. Temperature difference between the ends of the rod. So that is T1 minus T2, the first condition. Next, amount of heat energy is directly proportional to area of cross section of the rod. Area of cross section of the rod, that is A. Next, the third condition is Q is directly proportional to time of flow of heat, that is time. Amount of heat energy directly proportional to temperature difference between the ends of the rod, and it is directly proportional to area of cross section of the rod, and heat energy directly proportional to time of flow of heat. And one more thing, last one is Q is inversely proportional to length or thickness inversely proportional to length or thickness, that is 1 by L. So these are the, on these points the heat energy transfer depends. The amount of heat energy transferred is directly proportional to temperature difference between the ends of the rod, temperature difference between the ends of the rod, and it is directly proportional to area of cross section, area of cross section of the rod, and it is directly proportional to time of flow of heat and this, and inversely proportional to length. So that is Q proportional to, based on this we can write Q proportional to T1 minus T2 and Q proportional to A and Q proportional to T, Q proportional to 1 by L. Simply amount of heat, Q is nothing but the amount of heat energy, that depends on what factors? Temperature difference. If the temperature difference is more amount of heat energy transferred. If area of cross section is more amount of heat energy transferred. Time of flow of heat is more. If the time is more amount of time we are heating, more amount of heat energy transferred. If the length of the rod is more, heat energy transferred is minimizes. If the length is maximum, so heat energy does not transfer to the other end. Maybe sometimes like that. If the length is more, heat energy transferred is less. So the heat energy depends on these factors. So from this we can write Q proportional to T1 minus T2 A into T divided by L. By combining all those, directly proportional to T1 minus T2, directly proportional to area, directly proportional to time, inversely proportional to L. So from this we can write Q is equals to Ka into T1 minus T2 into T by L. So this is the actual formula, where K is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. K is called the coefficient of thermal conductivity. This is the amount of heat energy transfer from one place to another place by using conduction process. Amount of heat energy transferred from one place to another place by using conduction process. This is Q is equals to Ka into T1 minus T2 into small t divided by L. Ka into T1 minus T2 into small t divided by L, where K is quotient of thermal conductivity. This is the concept. So now this is the concept of heat transfer. Sorry. In that heat transfer, first we are discussing about conductivity, thermal conductivity. Depends on thermal conductivity means amount of heat energy transfer from one place to another place in conduction process. Amount of heat energy transferred from one place to another place in conduction process. That is Q, directly proportional to what factors? Temperature difference, area of cross section, time and length. So this, where K is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. Next. Next it is, we know the formula Q is equals to Ka into T1 minus T2 into small t by L. So that is, maybe in sometimes some textbooks in place of T1, T2 they represent theta 1, theta 2. Here I am considering temperature is T, capital T here, but in certain textbooks it is in the form of theta 1 and theta 2. Everything is correct. Our representation, that is only. So here we can write Q by T is called Ka into T1 minus T2 divided by L, where Q by T is rate of flow of heat. Q by T is the rate of flow of heat, and T1 minus T2 by L is the temperature gradient. T1 minus T2 by L is the temperature gradient. So rate of flow Q by T, rate of flow of heat. Rate of means always you must remember rate of in the sense divided by time. In motion in straight line we have rate of change of displacement, or rate of displacement is called velocity. Rate of in the sense displacement by time there. Rate of velocity, velocity by time, that is acceleration. So rate of in the sense divided by time. So you must remember that. So that is Q by T, that is rate of flow of heat or heat energy flowing per unit time. Heat energy flowing per unit time. So that is equals to Ka into T1 minus T2 divided by L. Ka into T1 minus T2 divided by L. So that is. So from this we can write K is equals to Q by T divided by A into T1 minus T2 by L. Q by T into A into T1 minus T2 by L. So this is the coefficient of thermal conductivity formula. K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity formula. Its unit, what we can write? This is Q, that is heat energy. Energy unit joule. Time second. Energy by time, that is nothing but power. Power unit is watt per. Here Q is the heat energy. Q is the heat energy. Heat energy divided by time. Heat energy divided by time. Energy is joule. Time is second. Joule per second. Or energy by time is nothing but power. Power unit is watt. Area unit meter square. Temperature difference Kelvin per meter. So that is. So we can write watt per meter Kelvin. Watt per meter Kelvin. So that is the unit of coefficient of thermal conductivity, watt per meter Kelvin. Or so this joule per second divided by meter Kelvin, or joule per meter Kelvin second. Anyone is right. Watt per meter Kelvin or watt, that is power. Power can be written as work done by time or heat energy by time. So joule by second. So joule per meter Kelvin second. This is the unit. Either this one or this one. Any one is correct. So that is coefficient of thermal conductivity. Next, one more condition is here K depends only on nature of material. Nature of the material. For different materials the value of K is different. So the value of K depends only on the nature of the material. It does not depends on any other factors. It does not depends on any other factors. So K value does not depends on rate of flow. K value does not depends on area of cross section. K value does not depends on temperature gradient. K value does not depends on any factor. It depends only on the nature of the material. For a given material, any given material, the K value remains constant. Whatever is the heat energy we can supply, whatever is the temperature difference, whatever is the area of cross section, the value of K remains constant for those material. So that is depends on only nature of the material. For a given material K value is fixed. For a given material K value is fixed. It does not changes with heat energy, does not changes with temperature difference, does not changes with length, does not changes with area, whatever it is. So that is K. That is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. Its unit is watt per meter Kelvin. Watt per meter Kelvin. And the dependence of K depends only on nature of the material. So how can you write the dimensional formula here? Dimensional formula, joule per meter Kelvin second. Joule, energy, ml square T power minus 2 divided by meter L K T. L cancel. M L T power minus 3 K power minus 1. M L T power minus 3 K power minus 1. Joule is the energy. Energy dimensional formula ml square T power minus 2. Meter nothing but L. Kelvin K. Second time. So that is, this is the dimensional formula of coefficient of thermal conductivity, ml T power minus 3 K power minus 1. So this is about concept about coefficient of thermal conductivity.